In the wake of the rise in gun violence in the United States of America, the U.S. House of Committee on Wednesday held a hearing on examining the practices and profits of gun manufacturers in the country. Executives from large gun companies appeared before the committee and were questioned about their organization's responsibility for the recent devastating mass shootings in the United States. The hearing marked the first time in nearly 2 decades that the CEOs of leading gun manufacturers testified before the U.S. House Committee. And this comes after a wave of deadly attacks, including the 4th of July parade in Illinois, the mass shooting which occurred in Buffalo, and Uvalde elementary school shooting.
This is an ultra-deadly weapon engineered to kill enemy soldiers on the battlefield. Yet the gun industry has flooded our neighborhoods, our schools, and even our churches and synagogues with these deadly weapons, and has gotten rich doing it.
A report released by the committee revealed how 5 major gun manufacturers in the United States had generated over $1 billion in revenue from the sale of assault rifles in the past decade. Meanwhile, 2 of those companies tripled their revenue from the sale of weapons in the past 3 years. The committee further highlighted how guns were often marketed to young men as a way to prove their masculinity, and asserted how these companies sold similar kinds of weapons that were found in video games and advertisements.
Our investigation also found that gun manufacturers use dangerous marketing tactics to sell assault weapons to the public. That includes marketing to children, preying on young men's insecurities, and even appealing to violent white supremacists. Finally, we found that even as guns kill more Americans than ever, none of those companies take even basic steps to monitor the deaths and injuries caused by their products. This is beyond irresponsible.
However, instead of taking responsibility, the company executives blamed individual bad actors and policy failures to prevent violent crime, further emphasizing on how a firearm can be used for both good and evil purposes.
I grieve, like all Americans, at these tragic incidences. Again, to blame the firearm, the particular firearm in use here that we're talking about, modern sporting rifles.
Thank you.
To blame the firearm as an inanimate object.
The committee hearing came as the House of Democrats attempted to pass additional gun control legislation, which includes a ban on assault weapons. Democrats are also considering a bill to strip gun manufacturers of civil liability protections.
Still a criminal. And so how many?
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.